Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, today's one of them days. It's hard to get out of bed, man. Hard to get out of bed. They hit me with a notice on the door saying they're going to be turning off the water between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. And that could not have been more frustrating for me to receive, because I'm already exhausted right now. So I already know if I got to get up at 6 a.m. just so I can shower and do all the stuff that I do, I ain't gonna be too happy about that tomorrow. So that's a bit of a struggle, trying to wrap my mind around what the routine will be for tomorrow, when you consider the toilet will be off, the water will be off, shower, everything that you need, everything is gonna be off until 6 p.m. here. So that really is throwing a monkey wrench on my entire plan for my day tomorrow. So I'm just a bit more irritable than I probably should be receiving that news. But I said a little meditative prayer before I left the house. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do because my body is exhausted and my mind is thinking I can't stay in the house. Just because I want to keep this routine up of moving around and exercising and getting out and, you know what I mean, just doing the regular stuff. But my body really wants to sleep. But my thing is, if I sleep in the daytime today, it's going to be hell trying to get up tomorrow morning at 6 or whatever time I would need to otherwise get up so that I can have my shower and everything done by 8. So this is just frustrating, man. Mad frustrating. But, the meditative prayer just kind of put me on the timeline of getting out the house at this point, getting some fresh air, seeing people, and hopefully feeling a lot better physically for the exercise that I'm getting right here. Because honestly, getting up doing the squats today, my squat regimen, man, oh man, it felt as hard to do it today as it ever has. It really did, man. My back was sore in like 3 different places. My legs are sore. I just think it's one of those situations where this would otherwise be a day that you would sleep all day to get your muscles growing in. And I just can't afford to really do all that. You know what I mean? So I figured, man, usually when I get some fresh air, by the time I get back, I feel better. Or anytime I feel this way, usually exercise is what makes me feel better, not rest. And given the fact that I'm restless, fighting this is ultimately the best way forward for me. So, yeah, man, just highly irritable, man. Irritable. But, you can't let that get you down. Obviously, the Lord has bigger plans than what the enemy's trying to throw at you, as we always say. So I figured I'd just give God a minute, man. I sat there quiet in the room for a minute, meditated for like 15 minutes, and then I just got up and walked out. And that's how you got to handle that sometimes. So I'm optimistic it's about to be a pretty solid day, man. And by the time I get back, I hope that I'll feel energetic enough to do my routine, my squats, and everything. And that was another thing. If I stay home, let's say I sit down and do some art right now, it's going to set my day back to where I probably wouldn't leave the house till 2 or 3. And then it's just one of those situations where I'm already dealing with a disruption in my routine right now because of what they got going on with the water. So I figured I might as well just hold on to as much of that routine as possible by getting out and doing this way, like I always try to do. So it's just a lot of different things, man. Everything I wanted to do had conflicting parts of it that I did not want. If I sit down and do art, I'm throwing off my day. If I go to sleep, I'm throwing off my day. If I come out, I'm not getting that rest that I ultimately want. So it's just, but I am helping myself to this routine that I think is good for me in exercise. So it's like the lesser of the 3 evils was just to come outside and deal with that. So that's pretty much where we at, man. Coming outside in fresh air, and I've been avoiding something that I didn't think I would have a problem with, and that was the SSI results. When I first applied for this back in August, I was pretty optimistic that I would be fine. Once the results come around, it wouldn't be no issue trying to check and see if they would come in. Throughout the course of being in the situation in October and all these different months, I didn't think that I would have a problem come January checking to see if I got the SSI. But now that we're here, the end of January, where the results could probably be in, I have not wanted to check to see if they've been there. I don't want to go through the process of being rejected and then having to do all that stuff that I told myself I was ready for and talking to the lawyers and appealing. For whatever reason in my head right now, I ain't ready to find out. It's the God's honest truth. I just ain't ready. Face what comes with it. You know, you start realizing that they're giving you less than what your family's giving you right now to keep yourself going. When I sat down and talked to those people and worked out exactly how much it costs to get this hotel going monthly, how much my family's giving me to take care of that hotel, I realized they're giving me more than SSI is expected to at the maximum. And so it's like, if I'm barely budgeting that, how am I going to budget even less? Not to say that I'm not excited about my family not having to pay for stuff no more, but it's, you know, it's still not going to be enough. And so it's like, it's just a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with right now. That's once again anxiety-based, mental-based, avoidance-based. And I'm just, you know, dealing with it alone like I did with everything else. And I'm frustrated a bit today with all of it. I think today is one of them days where it just really hits you like, damn, we're gonna go through this cycle again next Wednesday, even though we're 6 days away from that. But you know, going out, walking around without a destination, and you just get to a point where you get tired, man. You just get tired. I haven't seen as much of Hollywood as I want to see. You know what I mean? I don't have to walk around my old streets necessarily today. Ain't nothing new going on out there for me at this point, because I've seen it all a million times in this era. It don't look different now. You know, this is what I expect to see. As to where in the first half of this process, going home every day, going to all my schools that I used to go to, all that stuff was exciting. Now, it's not. It's just, we just doing what we always do, and that's starting to become a little routine-based in a way that ain't really doing nothing for me. I'm excited about doing art every morning. I love doing my art at night, but now I also got to get exercise at the daytime. Also got to keep myself around out here, so that I can still be used to seeing people and not fall back into that let's stay in the house bull crap, you know? Stuff like that, let's sleep in the daytime, stuff that really got me in this problem with these issues in the first damn place. So fighting myself has been a bit of a challenge for me lately, man. And I just want to win these battles, man. Honestly, just want to win these battles against my own anxiety, against my own frustrations, against all of it, my own old bad habits that I don't want to fall into, but I can see how I fall into those bad habits. Food, eating poorly, stuff like smoking weed, just a bunch of stuff that I just don't want to deal with the consequences of doing those things no more. I just don't. Had some bad dreams last night too. That probably didn't help. Had some very bad dreams last night. You know, and it's like almost like you don't want to speak on those bad dreams, because you start to think, and to be honest with you, you might be putting some words out there that might hurt somebody. If you speak on it, you don't want to give light to certain things, but it was just bad. First of all, the first dream actually wasn't all that bad. I'll give you this. I was in a video game type atmosphere, but the video game was like Contra, yeah, something like that. If anybody remembers the old Contra series, war series. But I was a fighter in the game, blowing stuff up. And you know, you get the combination of gun violence and judo moves and stuff like that. So I'm shooting people and flipping them, and you know, I get to this final round, boss type dude, look like a combination between Street Fighter character Guile and Zangief. Both of them, you're like a combination of both of them, like a big ass buff Zangief. And I was throwing grenades at dudes, shooting at them. You know how it is in video games. You shoot them once, it only takes a little bit of their life, that kind of thing. So I'm doing all types of moves, man. I flip this dude all types of stuff. And I wake up when his bars almost decrease. Like I almost beat him, And I woke up. I'm like, damn it, I didn't beat the game. You know what I mean? I was so close to beating the game and couldn't beat the damn game because I woke up. So I was a little frustrated with that dream. It was fun. It wasn't bad. And I guess what our mission was is to stop this dude from pushing drugs or something into the city or something. I don't know. It has something to do with a lot of drugs, right? That's what it really came down to. I'm supposed to be the anti-drug task force guy or some stupid crap like that. I don't know, whatever. Either way, I was killing the hell out of his army, man. They was falling. And I got to that final boss. Now, mind you, they shoot me 176 times, blowing up stuff, everything around me. But of course, I have a large bar, just like in the video games, of life, and I'm able to re-up on ammo. It's like a real video game where you get shot, but you ain't nothing gonna happen to you. So it was that type of thing. Woke up right before I beat the final boss. Great. Get up, use the restroom, come back to bed. I go back to bed, and this is when the bad dream happens. This was a bad dream. So I'm walking into ESPN headquarters, I guess, or something like that. But definitely ESPN people. And it was Malika Andrews. She was doing her NBA Today, whatever the name of the thing is. It's NBA something. And at that point, so while she's doing her thing with her microphone in her hand, freaking Jalen Rose walks up to her, puts her in a headlock, and starts doing a noogie to her head. She had braids, like cornrows in her hair, and he was putting her in a noogie, like. And the first thing I'm thinking, as I'm looking at this, as it's pan forward, just like I am toward you, is, oh no, she ain't going for that. He about to get fired. Like, my thinking was he about to get fired, or he gonna be suspended for a long time, because she don't play like that. That's not how that works. And it was uncomfortable in a sense, because she looked like she was very uncomfortable with it. Bro, after he, you know, they stopped doing it. He took her out of that headlock. She sat down and started to cry. Right? She started crying. And then you saw who I'd imagine was her significant other who works there, Dave McMenamin. I think that's his name. Dave McMenamin. I never saw Dave. Now, mind you, I never see him. He's not actually in the frame, but you can see there's a cubicle to the left of where she's at. Somebody, and it's like 3 people along with, I would imagine Dave. I'm assuming it's Dave, just because it makes sense that it's Dave. Jump on Derek, on Rose. They jump on dude. Like to try to pull him off of her, even though he had already stopped, to pull him away from her, I guess, so they jump on him. Then it goes into a dark space. The whole thing gets real dark. Because at that point, from behind where I'm standing, now mind you, I'm in front of them, looking at this as you're looking at me. From behind me, I feel energies of bad darkness come through. And it was almost as if there was an invisible truck came through and started mowing down everyone in front of me. Didn't run me over. Malik Andrews ran and got out of the way, but everybody who was tackling Rose got mowed over. But you never actually saw the truck itself because it was invisible. And it was just an evil darkness. Like I felt evil, like pure and utter evil mow through that place. And I heard a voice say something like, everybody just got mowed over. Everybody just got run over or something like that. I'm like, what the hell? And it was just dark. You see a body on the ground. It was almost like a sign out of like a vision out of what it is that you see in Gaza. The bodies on the ground, everybody mowed over. And I heard my own voice say, this is unbelievable. As if I'm saying it to you, but I never actually said it. Nor was I thinking it, but I heard my own voice saying, this is unbelievable. And I woke up. Yeah, man. And I said a prayer for everybody at ESPN. Man, I don't know what y'all got going on over there. But that was real, man. Let's talk about a dream that felt real, bro. Woo. Nothing felt more real than that. That was real. And then my thinking was, how the hell did that happen? It was almost like Malika Andrews' protectors were the forces of darkness that came through and like, you dare touch her, we're gonna kill everybody in the room type stuff. I kid you not. Like, that's exactly what it felt like. That is exactly what that felt like. But she was in danger too, because she had to get the hell out of the way of that shit too. Whatever it was, she had to get out of the way in order not to get mowed over by it. And I didn't see her get hit or nothing. She was fast. She got out the way. And I don't remember I didn't see who the bodies were because they were face down. I didn't see none of that. But man, that dream was scary as crap, bro. When I say scary, it wasn't even about it wasn't just about what it was. It was about the feeling that I felt come over my body and jump over me to get to everybody in the room. That was evil, fam. Like spiritual evil is exactly what I can say that felt like. Just like the power of the worst enemy just coming by and just saying, I'm killing everything. I'm wiping everything in this room out. And just the visual of seeing people get mowed over by something that wasn't actually there scared the hell out of me. When you say a nightmare scared you, yeah, that one scared me. That one scared me, yo. So I don't know what the hell's going on over there. Hopefully nothing. But I would say that that felt real to me, man. And I felt hesitant to even tell people about that on there because of just what it speaks to and the specifics of the people involved. No, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't wish nothing on nobody. I'm not that kind of person. I don't want to see nothing like that happen. I don't want to put light to that kind of stuff. But I talk about what I go through on my channel, and I love talking about my dreams. And that was a legitimate dream that I had. That happened last night. Dream wasn't that long, but it was very, very vivid, fam. Very vivid. So, you know, that was one of them. And then I had another dream too after that. I woke up out of that, shook a little bit, and then went back to sleep. And I don't exactly remember what the other dream was, but I don't think it was all that good either, to be honest with you. Another one of the type of nightmare type things. So yeah, man. The ghost in the night before didn't scare me, but that dream at ESPN, that one did. I was shook. I'm like, man, what am I looking at? First of all, what am I feeling? Because the dream I had before that, I was just a renegade, a warrior against drugs or whatever. I'm not overly passionate about that type of stuff, to be honest, in real life. But in that dream, I was a Contra warrior. You know, just every gun imaginable. If I had it in my pocket, every explosive you could think of, I was throwing it around trying to kill the bad guys, whatever they were. And so for me to have seen carnage, cause carnage in one, didn't feel no fear in that one. In fact, I was pretty excited because it felt like a video game. But the second dream, it was worrisome. That was the vibes, worrisome. It's like, what the hell are they dealing with over there? What is really going on over there? That's what came to mind. And Stephen A was in the dream. He was one of the people running out the way. He was one of them, running out of the damn way. But like I said, whoever got mowed over, I didn't actually see who got mowed over. I saw one person, they were face down with a yellow shirt, but I wasn't really able to tell who the hell that was. You just saw people drop and you saw people flee. And you felt the devil basically coming through there, just wiping everything out. You felt it. It was less about what you were seeing and more about what you felt. You know? It's like, yo, this is awful to see, but the terror and the hate and the overall fury that was coming wasn't nothing to play with, man. It was nothing to play with. And so that's what I'm telling y'all. Like, that dream, it's one thing to see those things, but it's another thing to have felt what I felt when watching that. It was horrible, man. It was far worse than what people would even think, dude. It was like a terrorist attack or something, like a real, that's what it felt like. And so I'm telling people, man, maybe it's nothing, maybe it's something, But I think it's a combination of the various different things that I've been paying attention to. On one hand, I'm paying attention to what's going on with the Gaza situation. On the other hand, I'm a sports guy who's always watching everything sports. You know, I think the first dream was a piece of what it is that unfortunately took place in the Mojave Desert, I believe it was, where they found 6 people who had been unalived out there. Sound like a drug deal going bad to me, so I'm thinking my first dream had something to do with me being subjected to that, and thinking that's what that was, even though they haven't confirmed what that was. Sound like it to me, so I think that's where my brain went, took that into account. You know, I think dreams a lot of times are fragments of different things that you are around or that you see, and particularly with what we're seeing in our phone. You know, that I think that's what it is. It attaches itself to your subconscious, and you try to more or less waste it out like you would any other waste. And so that's what I think, fragments of various different things just coming to me, man. And I know the Malika Andrews, you know, conversation is more or less her having it out for black men and having it out for anybody that, in the name of victims, and that kind of energy is to, like, you mess with her, you liable to get sued for everything in the world. If you try something like that with her, she's gonna make a big deal out of it. You know, that's just the reputation of the woman. So I think I was taking a piece of that from the situation and coupling that with the Gaza thing. I think it was all coming together, man. I think that's what it really was. Seeing too much death in my phone with this Gaza thing, man. It's too much death. Too much carnage, too many dead bodies over the last 111 days. It starts getting into your dreams. I think that's what it is. I believe so. You know what I mean? You know, yesterday, the footage, another thing that I think probably got a part of it was the footage of that individual who had been interviewed outside of the Gaza Strip, I believe he was. And he was just essentially, you could see the fear in his eyes, and he was essentially saying, I'm trying to get to some lost family members. You know, if they would just, you know, I come in peace, I just want to come retrieve my family members. As soon as the cameras walk away from him, they shoot this dude. Like in a matter of moments after he finished getting interviewed. And that footage is going all over the internet right now. And I was able to see that footage multiple times. I think that played a part into it. To why I had this type of dreams last night. There's too much death, man. Too much demon energy, you know what I mean? And so I think that played a part into my my frustration. Of course, that dude putting that curse on me, that Nigerian scammer putting that curse on me, saying he wanted my head to be smashed by his god Ogun. All of it, I'm sure, had something to do with it. So that's why I think getting some fresh air today, not staying in that unit today, was probably most important. Because I just need to probably get out of that environment necessarily where I had all those dreams and all those thoughts. Try to have another day where I'm getting some fresh air and some walking. And right now I feel pretty good. So, yeah, man, I just was hesitant to tell y'all. Usually I'm excited to tell y'all about dreams. But this one was like, I don't know about putting nobody's name on this. Jalen Rose and all those folks, man. I wish them well, man. I saw Jalen Rose sitting next to Birdman. At the basketball game. You know what I mean? Just think about energies, man. It's like those are two very different types of people, man. Birdman is Birdman. If you follow the culture, you know a Birdman. And so it was a little moment that they had where they did the PA at the Laker game. They were saying, you know, introducing Derrick Rose and Birdman, and they mentioned Birdman first. And I think Derrick Rose might have been a little, not Derrick Rose, Jalen Rose. If I said Derrick the whole time, I meant Jalen. Might have been a little uncomfortable about that, it felt to me. The vibes were just a little off about that. That kind of thing I think played into why he was in my dream as well, just perceiving that as I did. You know what I mean? Jalen, not Derrick. Derrick's a basketball player for Memphis. And we know MVP of the past. I had the pleasure of seeing Derrick Rose in his prime. That was one of my favorite experiences in watching basketball, was actually being able to see certain players in their prime. Yao Ming in his prime, Derrick Rose in his prime, Kobe in his prime, Shaq. Very, very fortunate to have seen some of the best of that generation play basketball live in their prime in person. But that's neither here nor there, man. The point was I was talking about Jalen. So, yeah. I don't know, man, how many times I said Derek, but I meant Jalen. But whatever the case may be, man, I want y'all to know I wish well for everybody, man. I don't want no bad to happen to nobody except for those who are doing bad and don't care nothing about it. Those are the only ones who deserve the worst, man. Everybody else, I don't have no problem with you, man. And so that's what I'm saying, man. This whole situation in Gaza is terrible. How they doing them people acting like it ain't happening, and we see stuff like this. It just gets to a point where, 111 days, man. 111 days, it just wears you down from afar. I can only pray for those who are going through it, but for those who are watching it like I am, calling for the end of that nonsense, bro, it is ridiculous how there hasn't been any real acknowledgement from our government that this is a double standard that we need to address. That's my problem with this whole situation. I understand the cap of maintaining your position in your political stature. These are our friends. They claim these are our enemies, and we claim plausible deniability so that we can say that we were trusting them at all times. I don't want anybody to think I don't understand that type of positioning. Just in case, for some reason, what they're doing somehow turns into not what it seems, we can say that we were in the corner of our allies no matter what. I understand that is the position they want intelligent people to have in regards to America supporting Israel. I understand this. I don't want anybody to think I don't understand this. We are covering our backside legally. We're covering our backside with our allies, people that we otherwise, if we have real problems with the rest of the world, they're going to be the ones who come to our defense. And that's the position they want intelligent people to believe we are taking. I understand that is what they want me to think as a smart person. That if we don't back them, it could be the deterioration of a ally situation system that has been in place for almost 100 years. I get that. Problem is, I also get the deeper understanding that this is white supremacy, that this is a legal alliance, a legal occupation, that these people have been terrorizing these other people for 75 years in ways that we never knew about until now. The average human being in America doesn't know nothing about this. How bad they've been treating these people. How much terror they've been placing upon them psychologically by way of what it is that they own. By way of what it is they control in their environment. I was reading something yesterday, said they were keeping those people from electricity. Electricity, fam. Giving them a fourth of what would otherwise be necessary for anybody American to be able to do their thing. For the last 75 years, they've been controlling these people with electricity so that they would not turn on them and resist the occupation of terror that they've been putting on the people the whole time. It's like, yo, we control your water, we control your electricity, we control everything. So you bet not mess with it. They've been terrorizing these people the whole time. And they just woke up one morning and decided to eradicate them entirely. It's like, yo, this is the worst thing we've seen in modern times, man. The worst thing we've seen. And granted, what's going on in Congo could potentially be worse. But the key words is we've seen. Only to find out it ain't new. And so it's like, yo, you've been terrorizing these people the whole time. And America's known about this the whole time. And they still been making allied agreements with you the whole time. So I guess, are we supposed to not care that this is happening to these people because they are underneath your thumb, and therefore it is an unspoken truth that they are your servants, and that is just how it works? So we just accept that? Like, are you out of your mind, America? You really think I'm going for that as a black person who you had in indentured servitude for 400 years, my people? And then for the next 75 years after we were freed, you terrorized us the same way in different facets, but it's the same energy that you place upon my people. Destroying Black Wall Street, destroying everything we got. Anytime we put ourselves in a position to invest in anything, you blow it up. Double down on the ability to rigged this financial game against us by making sure we couldn't own anything, making sure we didn't have any information, didn't know how to read. Israel's N-words. That's what the Palestinians are supposed to be in modern times. Israel's N-words. And they do whatever they want to them. And America been sitting back knowing this the whole time, but because they are a good ally with a lot of money and a lot of sway all over the world, and a lot of their people are from this land, now we're supposed to just be cool with that. The problem with Israel, along with everything else, is that they don't have any indigenous people. They just got a bunch of evil individuals that are coming there to agree to take land from other people in the Middle East. There's people from everywhere. Netanyahu's from freaking Europe. You got people from India coming there to do that. People from America, all different states coming there to come together to be an agreed Zionist movement of colonizing terrorists. All the terrorists in the world just come together and just go there and just be terrorists. That's why they have so much support, because everybody there is from somewhere else. It ain't just a group of people of a certain race who decided to do this. No, this is every evil bastard in the world coming together and say, let's go be our evil there. And I'm telling you, fam, that's satanic. Beyond what is considered intelligent, it is spiritually satanic. That's what I know as well. Spiritually bankrupt, intelligent people are supposed to see it as us posturing properly to keep our allies just in case. Spiritually wealthy individuals are supposed to look at that and say, yo, this is some satanic bullshit. They trying to kill people over there for no other reason than just because they can and because they enjoy seeing it happen. And I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing good about that. There's nothing good about that. So this is why I say to you guys, I get it. I get what America wants me to think. If I didn't know God and I had nothing but books to structure my mindset, then that's exactly what I'm supposed to be thinking. It is most intelligent to align ourselves with our allies, just in case, whatever the case may be. We can just say that we don't know no better. And if it's have to hold them accountable, we can say that we stood our ground in the presence of all our other allies, no matter right or wrong. We were with you until you were proven to be wrong, and we will act like we don't know that you've been proven to be wrong to stay in your corner, because that's the type of homies we are. That's what America's doing. Gang stuff. But the deeper understanding is that ain't what this is. That ain't what that is at all. That's supremacy, man. That's all that is. Supremacy. And the agreed nature of many evils coming together to build a big, huge America Part 2 called Israel. They are building the second America, where they're going to do everything to the natives there that they want to do, and then proceeded to build on the land something like this, but bigger and better. That's all it is. It's literally all it is. They're building America 2.0, and I'm telling you, it looks like we're going to let them do it. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like people are going to sit back and continue to act like this ain't happening, because they know that a lot of the people who are cool with this, families are going to be wealthy enough to be able to buy land there and stay wealthy there, so long as they don't get in the way of the plan. And that's what I think a lot of these celebrities and billionaires, they doing. Like, look, man, our lineage is going to be able to be there. If America goes left, we can just be there. We can continue to be wealthy there. There'll be paradise there. We're going to have the biggest army, the biggest infrastructure. All we got to do is not get in the way of what this process is, for which we've seen already works. To do this to the Indians and bring some slaves there. The slaves will likely not be people. They'll likely be technology. They don't have to slave people to do that stuff no more. But they do got to get the natives up out of there. And so they terrorize the hell out of them natives until they can put themselves in a position to be so damn incredibly powerful and so damn influential all over in places to where people like us wouldn't try to stop them from doing it. We get nestled in our situations, control everything we have financially, control the mindset of people as it pertains to This is your culture. You don't want to go against that culture. These are your dreams. You can't follow your dreams unless you have our investing support and backing. With that being said, you now will watch us do the unthinkable, and you will be fine with it, as to not disrupt what it is that otherwise you know is your comfort zone. I mean, look around you, America. Everything is fine here. Who cares what's happening over there, right? Everything's fine here. And will continue to be fine here so long as you allow us to stay in control. And that's what it is. And so a lot of people just gonna do that. Yeah, that's for sure. Because if I don't, then I'm not gonna be fine today. And all that matters is today to me, because I'm only gonna be alive today and tomorrow, and then I'm in the ground. So who cares what happens tomorrow, right? Not that makes any sense, since what they're building over there is meant for tomorrow. But this is when you stop asking questions. Like, I don't need to ask those type of questions to try to make any sense of any of this. All I got to do is just not be outside of what is ultimately my comfort, which is the safe and overall serene environment of a highly protected America. Which I can tell you, my friend, ain't highly protected at all. Because the people who are doing what it is that they're doing are weaponizing the world against that America. And what it is they're building is going to be attacked every 5 minutes because of it. And it's going to be hard for them to build that thing properly. And it's going to be hard to sell things there like they think they're going to turn that into another America, but it ain't going to be that. Because we all saw what happened to the Indians of today. We all saw what happened to the slaves of today on our phones. And that's the part they're screwing up in regards to not being able to understand and fully address, is that you couldn't have done that. You could not have built this if all of that was being witnessed by the world. If we saw what you did to the Native Americans, you would have never built America. If we would have saw in our phones the day-to-day life of a slave, you wouldn't have been able to keep them in slavery for 400 years. It wouldn't have worked. Because compassion is what ultimately drives human beings no matter where they're from. And eventually you're going to start having people who are dreaming solely about stopping you from doing what it is that otherwise they see as lack of compassion. You know, and in different actions that ultimately hurt others, particularly children. So it's like that part, they're just saying, well, we got enough control, so we're just going to overcome that. It's like, well, we'll see. But the politicians and all of this, every time they get up and try to talk, they're getting interrupted every 5 minutes. Every time Biden got something to say, it's about 8 or 9 people interrupting each and every speech. Every time VP has something to say, it's about 8 or 9 people interrupting each speech. It's like, yo, you can't do this while people are watching. You may have been able to do this before the technological revolution, but now that everybody has a phone in their hand and they can see what you did, nah, it doesn't work. No, friend, it don't work. And so that's ultimately what they're running into, I believe. That people are actually witnessing their crimes and have faces to the faceless. And we know of Harriet Tubman, but like, you couldn't actually see her in her day-to-day struggle. But we know of Motaz, though. We see Wizard Basan 1, though. Like, these are real people, fam. We're seeing them every day. Every day we try to check and see if she's all right. You think we're going to sit up and deal with this forever with you? And support you and act like we didn't see it? That's not how this works. I don't believe you have the technology you need, the Men in Black wand, to make people forget. Like, you don't have it. It's not there. We're going to remember this now. And we're going to tell our kids, and we're going to tell our grandkids, and we're going to tell our friends and everybody else. Like, you can't act like this isn't happening. So that's why I think it's not a perfect science for them. They think they're going to be able to build America 2.0 over there, and nah. So yeah, man, I just wanted to get out of here and vent. I'm tired of this. I think the world is tired of this. 111 days, I believe, is the day 111 or something like that. This is getting worse and worse for the people. You know, some of them are pulling out now, evacuating. It's crazy, man. You know, they've been in there for 101 days, 111 days. So if they brokered a deal to save themselves, it's kind of hard to put myself in their shoes in any way. They've done their part. But I get the feeling some of these people finally broke. Like, yo, this is a lost cause. Everybody's gonna die here. Let me just get the hell out of here, save myself, save my family. I think that's what's starting to happen. I think some of these people who've been strong, they're finally capitulating to that torture, man. Finally understanding what is really happening there, which is there is no hope. Unless somebody comes in and starts having some real resistance to that situation with guns and bombs and power, they're just gonna keep on doing this whether people are watching or not. You get the feeling that the average person in public can't do nothing about what you're doing, and you got to start thinking about how you're going to save yourself and your family. And so I think that's what's happening to a lot of those who've been showing us this all this time. It's like they celebrities now. Now it's an opportunity for them to not only evacuate, become millionaires and celebrities and live a dream that doesn't have any carnage going on around them. So you're getting the hell up out of there. And they're going off, probably go to Europe and write a book and try to live a good life, be a billionaire. Yeah, they leaving some people behind, but they did everything they could for them, that kind of thing. So that part is sad when you see that starting to be the vibes of some of the main faces. Like, this a lost cause, bro. I don't want to die here, that kind of thing. But I am one of the most famous people in the world. Let me get the hell up out of here and go live a life somewhere in a Western world where it seems like the only thing that anybody respects is them. Regardless if it's right or wrong, you just get to a point where your spirit get broken. I think that's what Israel was trying to do, is break their spirit. We saw where you were at in day 50, but you still gonna be there in day 111? You're gonna be there 111 days from now? It's like they're trying to break them, And they know how to do it because they've been doing this to others for a long time. They worked it on us. So they know all they got to do is just keep on dripping and keep on hitting the same spot over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually, people are going to break. And so that's what I think is happening with one or two of the main faces that have been showing us what's going on here. Without saying their name, because I really do respect them. And I don't know if I could do any different. But at the end of the day, that's what they're going through. That's what they're going through. You got a choice. Either sit here and die and continue to scream at a brick wall, or you can try to spread your message elsewhere, get rich, have a life, you're famous now, and design to see a way that they can gain respect off of using you. Like, if they could break you and turn you into what it is they want you to be, then my friend, they can break all of them. If they can bribe you with a good life versus furthermore torture than from which you've already suffered through for the last 111 days, offer you a book deal, offer you 7 or 8 interviews where they get to sway what comes out of your mouth, telling the truth, but definitely admitting some things and maybe even forgiving them, they can keep this process going. And see, I don't doubt that the evil of these bastards would have placed somebody there for that in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? If you're really trying to dot all your T's and cross all your I's, you had that person in place before this even began. You understand what I'm saying? Don't rule that out. Don't rule that out. All I know is people got to stay prayed up when you look at stuff like this. When you're seeing a genocide go on, and you know they already ran a test run twice, more or less, or even more than that, don't be so certain what you're seeing is a mistake. Sometimes they just got plans for certain things that look like mistakes. Or not. Whatever the case may be, I am prayed up, and that's exactly what comes to mind. I don't trust a whole lot. Not when it comes to this. So yeah, man. Prayers out to everybody who's stuck in that situation without an opportunity to evacuate. People who haven't had a chance to be seen as heroes for doing the job, who are stuck as martyrs for trying to tell us what happened there. I saw all of you. I paid attention to all of you. Fame is controlled by those who control what it is that is being used to make people famous. Meta, they control who's famous. Your media, your various different media parent companies, they control who gets seen and heard the most. Because otherwise, they just shut off that person's algorithm, so to speak, so that you're not necessarily heard of or seen by the masses. So the idea that you got famous, somebody had to okay that. Somebody had to say, yep, it's okay for the world to hear their voice. And sometimes you have to wonder, if not every time, you have to wonder, what is the agenda for that okay? Why are they fine to be heard by 10 million and not me or Joe over there? You understand what I'm saying? Who chose in this conversation which journalists get to survive and evacuate and which journalists ultimately become martyrs? Questions I will ask. Anyway, that's pretty much what I got to say, man. That is exactly what I got to say. As I told y'all, the voice that is initially told us what everything was, I never trusted that. I told you, I didn't trust him before this even happened. But he was able to give us the truth and was able to connect us to people who ultimately were on the ground. And I thought he held a whole lot of use. And they got rid of him. They got him out of here. Why ain't we hearing from him no more? I do not know. Why did we hear from him in the first place? I do not know. That's why I say I just stay prayed up, man. I don't care too much about getting famous because I understand that I have to go through the threshold of what it is they otherwise think is acceptable, and I ain't never passing through that. I'm never going to capitulate to any of the things that they want me to do in order for them to say, okay, he should be famous. I'm never going to do those things. It's not happening. I wouldn't mind, like I said yesterday, I wouldn't mind having a Maybach and a nice house and the ability to say, yo, I'm wealthy, so somebody can look at me and say, look at what his works have done. But if I got to be quiet on things like this and I can't speak on this at any given moment, or I got to say it a certain way so that certain people can be protected, even though they probably don't deserve that protection because they're being okay with what's going on, yeah, I don't know. It's fucking politics. That's why the world is so screwed up now, is because people have slipped through the cracks. That's nonsense. And so that's what I'm saying to all of y'all, man. I ain't doing none of that. They ain't gonna, y'all probably, some of y'all never know truly what I was about because they're gonna make sure of it, but it don't matter. So all I need is to reach the right people, not everybody. I got different scales, as I told y'all a million times. If it's all about getting rich and wealthy, then you just stop talking about anything real and just start doing what everybody wants to see. Whatever the hell that is, you do that. Pick a fight with somebody. Put on a dress or something, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna say I'm above you. Like, what's his name? He's doing to Cat Williams. It's a short dude that's always next to the Rock. He's always comedian Kevin Hart. I'm above you. He said to Cat Williams, I don't have to do that. I'm above you. Bro, you did everything they wanted you to do. That's why you are famous and wealthy, because you stayed in a space from which they could control. You said what they wanted you to say. You put on what they wanted you to put on. And as a result, you have more than the next guy who refused to. So therefore, just by default, he is beneath you. But believe me, that for which that structure is deteriorating by the second. So you would be wise, Kevin Hart, to stop speaking and thinking that way. Because at the end of the day, you're black. BDF 44, thank you all for watching. I'm out.